Are you hungry?
Yes.
I can give you food and money, but you will have to do one thing for me.
What kind of thing?
You will have to come to my bed and make me happy.
I cannot do such a thing.
Think about it. It is just for one night. After that, I will make you rich with money.
All right.
But only for one night. Fine, come with me. Sit in my car.
Can a hotel owner really do such a thing with a poor girl? To find out, watch the full video. But before moving forward, like this video and subscribe to the channel. On the long stone steps of the Mahakumbh Ghat, evening was slowly falling. In the distance, preparations for a grand stage performance were going on. The sounds of drums and trumpets floated through the air. But amid all that noise, there was a faint sound that no one could hear. The hunger in Aradhya's stomach. Aradhya was about 22 years old. She wore a faded green salwar suit and threads were hanging loose from her dupatta. She sat curled up at the edge of the steps. There was deep exhaustion under her eyes. Her cheeks had sunk in. Her lips were cracked from thirst. The Mahakumbh Ghat looked devotional and colorful, but for Aradhya, it was just another day. The same struggle of whether she would get something to eat tonight or have to quiet her hunger with only water. People came, watched the processions, chanted mantras, and then returned to their homes. Aradhya looked at every passing face with hope. In her eyes there was no begging, only a question floating silently. Am I not a human being? Just then, a jalebi vendor passed by, carrying a basket of hot jalebis. He tossed one jalebi toward a dog sitting near the ghat, and threw another toward Aradhya. The dog jumped and grabbed it. For a moment, Aradhya also moved, but she stopped herself. Her fingers froze in the air. The little self-respect that still lived inside her, even in poverty, did not let her bend. There must be some difference between an animal and a human, she told herself. Among that same crowd stood a young man, Dev Pratap, about 25 years old. He was the heir of a respected family in the city and managed a famous traditional restaurant in Prayagraj called Pavitra Bhog. Dev often came to the Kumbh Ghat searching for peace of mind. He had no shortage of money, but his heart felt empty inside. When his eyes fell on Aradhya, he clearly saw that the hunger-weakened girl refused even to touch the jalebi lying on the ground. A faint spark appeared in Dev's eyes. He pushed through the crowd and walked straight toward her. The moment he stopped in front of her, Aradhya became nervous. She pulled her legs closer to herself as if afraid that this man would scold her or chase her away. Instead of pulling out money, Dev knelt down in front of her and asked in a gentle voice, "Are you very hungry?" Aradhya stayed silent. She only looked at him with her large, frightened eyes. Dev spoke again. "I can feed you, but you must accept one condition of mine." The moment she heard the word condition, Aradhya's heart began to tremble. In her world, conditions usually meant humiliation or selling one's body. She clenched her fingers tightly in fear and anger. Dev seemed to understand what was going on in her mind. He immediately folded his hands and said, "Don't misunderstand me. My condition is only this. I don't give anything for free." Then he said, "You will have to come with me. You will have to work at my Pavitra Bhog restaurant. In return, you will get food, a place to stay, and money earned with dignity." He spoke his last line softly. "Will you live by begging, or will you raise your head by working? The choice is yours." Aradhya was stunned. Till today she had only received coins, taunts, and insults. But for the first time someone was offering her both work and respect. Her mind was in turmoil. Should she trust this stranger? What if this was some kind of trick? But when she looked into Dev's eyes, there was no greed there, no heavy gaze of pity, only a sincere feeling of equality. She hesitantly said, "Sir, I don't know how to work." Dev smiled gently. That smile slowly melted the fear sitting inside her. No one is born knowing everything. If the intention is pure, even a stone can learn a skill. Come. Aradhya stood up with unsteady steps. Her legs were trembling. When she reached Dev's black, shining car, she froze. The driver made a face, but Dev himself opened the back door and gestured for her to sit. The car stopped behind an old mansion-like building, Pavitra Bhog Restaurant. The air was filled with the fragrance of ghee, saffron, and cardamom. Dev took her inside. The staff, managers, waiters, and cooks stared in shock. The manager whispered, "Sir, she's the street girl. What will the customers say if she works in the kitchen?" Dev's voice turned firm. She was on the street. Now she is part of our family. Then he said to the elderly kitchen auntie, "Kaki, please take her to the washroom. Give her clean clothes and first make sure she eats. She will start working from tomorrow." That night, after many years, Aradhya smelled soap again. After bathing, she came out wearing the old but clean orange salwar suit Kaki had given her. When she looked at the girl standing in the mirror, she could not recognize herself. Under layers of dust was a truly beautiful wheat-colored glowing face. Her eyes, which once looked like dying embers, were now shining softly like a lamp. Kaki placed dal, rice, and hot tandoor rotis in front of her. The moment Aradhya took her first bite, tears began to fall from her eyes. This was not just the taste of food, it was the taste of dignity and freedom. Dev watched from a short distance. A silent peace rose inside his heart. A peace that no big business deal could ever give. The early days were not easy. The restaurant staff kept their distance from her as if she were untouchable. She was given the job of washing dirty utensils. Aradhya spent hours polishing dishes without complaint. Her hands would peel, her back would stiffen, but she never complained even once. Because she knew compared to the humiliation outside, this pain was far less. Dev silently watched everything. One evening, chaos broke out in the kitchen. Orders for Kumbh special. Shahi paneer had suddenly increased a lot. By mistake, the head chef had added too much salt to the curry. There was absolutely no time to remake it. The chef was angrily shouting at everyone. Fear was clearly visible on every face. Aradhya was quietly washing dishes in the corner. She hesitantly stepped forward and softly said, "Sorry. If you add a little milk, a little roasted gram flour, and squeeze some lemon on top, the saltiness will reduce." The chef glared at her and snapped, "So you will teach us, you worthless girl?" Just then Dev entered the kitchen. He had heard Aradhya's words clearly. "Stop," Dev said calmly but firmly. "Do exactly what she said." The chef followed her method, muttering under his breath. Within minutes, the Shahi paneer was ready. Dev tasted it. The flavor was unexpectedly outstanding. The salt was not only balanced, the entire taste had become deeper and richer. Dev looked at Aradhya in surprise. For the first time, his eyes held a sparkle of respect and admiration. "How did you know this?" he asked. Aradhya lowered her gaze. "When salt used to be too much at home, my mother did the same. Poverty teaches you that food is not thrown away. It is corrected." From that day on, Dev changed her duties. Aradhya no longer washed dishes. She was given important tasks like cutting vegetables and preparing spices. Slowly, the unspoken distance between Aradhya and Dev began to melt. Dev would often make excuses to come into the kitchen, sometimes to ask about spices, sometimes to comment on aromas, and sometimes just to look at her and smile silently. One day, heavy rain was falling. The restaurant was almost empty. Aradhya was wiping spice containers. Dev slowly came near her. "Aradhya, do you know how to read?" he asked. She quietly shook her head. "No, I don't." Dev asked in surprise. "Then how do you recognize the spices?" Aradhya picked up a container, closed her eyes, and took a deep breath. Every spice has its own story through its fragrance, just like every human being. She smiled. This is cinnamon. A little sweet, a little sharp, just like life. Dev watched her, mesmerized. He slowly realized that Aradhya was not an ordinary girl, but a soul that could fill his empty world with color. Raindrops were drifting in through the window, and a strange silence was blooming between them. Unknowingly, Dev placed his hand over Aradhya's hand. She shivered, as if an invisible lightning had touched them both at once. Their eyes met. And in that silent moment, words were exchanged that tongues often fail to speak. It was love's first knock, soft but deep. Now Aradhya had become the heartbeat of the kitchen. Dev taught her to cook, and she grasped everything as if this skill had been born within her. It was as if there was magic in her hands. People who came to the spiritual kitchen were no longer impressed by Dev's name as much as they were by the new taste that told its own story in every plate. But the path of love always passes through thorns. Dev's mother, Sumitra Devi, believed deeply in old traditions and family prestige. When she sensed that her son was not only lifting a poor girl onto his head, but had also given her a place in his heart, she completely lost her balance. Around the same time, a grand party was being held at the restaurant, attended by top officials and wealthy elites of the Million Kumbh area. Sumitra Devi was present there as well. That night, Aradhya had prepared a special Kumbh thali for the guests. As she entered the hall to serve the food, a rich woman, who had earlier seen her begging near the Kumbh Ghat, suddenly shouted, "Hey! This is the same girl who used to sit on the Ghat steps with a bowl. Dev, you made us eat food cooked by a beggar. This is an insult." The hall went completely silent. Every face seemed frozen. Sumitra Devi turned red with shame and rage. Without a second thought, she stepped forward and slapped Aradhya hard across the face. "Get out of here. I gave you shelter, and you dragged my honor into the dirt." A suffocating silence gripped the entire restaurant, and in that single moment, Aradhya's world shattered. Her cheek burned intensely, but her heart had turned to ashes even more than her skin. Tears began falling from her eyes on their own. Without saying a word, she removed her apron and ran out through the back door of the kitchen. Outside, dark clouds were heavy and rain was pouring violently. She disappeared into that storm, back into the same darkness from where she had once emerged. Dev was in his office cabin at that time. Hearing the noise, he rushed out, but Aradhya was already gone. It did not take long for him to learn everything. That day, for the first time, Dev looked his mother in the eyes and said, "Mother, you didn't hurt her. You hurt my heart. She was not a beggar. She was the soul of this kitchen. And what you call impurity, I call humanity. If she cannot step into this house, then I will not stay here either." Saying this, Dev jumped into his car like a madman and drove into the rain. He searched the entire Kumbh Ghat, every alley, every ashram. The rain refused to stop. His heart slowly began to sink. Had he lost Aradhya forever? It was already 1 a.m. Exhausted, Dev finally reached that same corner of the Mahakumbh Ghat, where he had first seen her. Under an old peepal tree, Aradhya sat soaked and trembling in the rain. Her face was buried in her knees. She was not crying. She was completely numb. Dev ran to her. He took off his coat and placed it over her shoulders. "Aradhya," he whispered. Slowly she lifted her head. There was no complaint in her eyes, only a deep, silent sadness. "Sir, why did you come here?" Her voice was broken. "I was fine where I was. Putting trash inside a palace does not turn it into gold." Dev gently held Aradhya's face in his hands. Tears overflowed from his eyes. "You are not trash, Aradhya. You are my life. That mansion, that kitchen, and even my chest were all empty. You came and filled everything. You don't know this, but for the past 3 months I have learned how to breathe. Only because of you." Aradhya looked at him in disbelief. "But society, your mother." Dev pulled her into his arms. The rain above the Kumbhagat grew even heavier, as if the sky itself was showering blessings on their union. "To hell with society. Respect is not earned by money, it is earned by character, and I have never seen a richer character than yours. Aradhya, will you marry me? Will you become my wife?" The moment she heard this, Aradhya broke down in tears. These were not tears of sorrow. They were tears of finally belonging, the belonging every human longs for. She slowly nodded. Dev lifted her into his arms. A few months later, Ruhani Rasoi was no longer just a restaurant. It had become a brand. But even greater than that, Dev and Aradhya together founded an organization called Apna Ghar. Here they brought girls and children who used to beg at the Kumbhagats. They were taught cooking, stitching, embroidery, and education. Today, Ruhani Rasoi was receiving one of India's most prestigious cooking awards. The anchor announced on the microphone, "And now, I would like to invite the real power behind this success, Mrs. Aradhya Dev Singh." Aradhya walked onto the stage. She was wearing a beautiful silk sari made by Kumbh artisans, a small bindi on her forehead and vermilion in her hair parting. Fear no longer lived on her face. Instead, her face glowed with remarkable confidence. The hall erupted in applause. The same people who once rejected her were now standing in honor. Aradhya held the microphone. Her voice trembled slightly, then steadied. "I am standing here today not because of my abilities alone, but because of my life partner's faith in me. He accepted me when I could not even accept myself. People say love is blind, but I say love is the vision that can see the human hidden beneath torn clothes." She looked at Dev. "You did not give me coins in charity. You gave me my life. I love you." Dev kissed Aradhya's forehead in front of everyone. Friends, Aradhya and Dev's story teaches us that anyone's life can change at any moment. All it takes is one hand that reaches out. True love is not the one that looks at beauty or bank balance. True love is the one that polishes the soul. Every day we pass countless poor people on the streets and turn our faces away. Who knows, one of them could be tomorrow's Aradhya, a lost diamond. If we show a little compassion and a little faith, this world can truly become heaven. Friends, if this video awakens something inside you, please like it, share it with your friends, and for more such stories, subscribe to our channel, The Human World Voice. We will meet again in the next video. Until then, thank you.